Another billion XRP got released today. And you know what? It happens every single month. And every single time, when I look at the comment section, I see people saying,
A lot of XRP just got dumped.
Come on. I thought we were over this. Having said that, very important announcement is that the U.S. debt ceiling bill passed the House. So that will be bad, right? Well, 50-50. I mean, the reason it is not that good, I hope, is obvious. Anything to do with the debt ceiling is almost by definition a loss-loss situation. But apparently the crypto tax situation that Biden came up with, that he was shouting out to basically get all these, let's actually paraphrase it. I'm not going to, or I should say, quote, agree to deal that protects wealthy tax cheats and crypto traders while putting food assistance at risk for nearly a million Americans. But yeah, apparently that stuff got taken down. And I said before to you guys as well, a lot of this stuff is always put up in front of a display. They're saying something to you right in your face, while at the end of the day, what actually passes the Senate is probably not going to be too significant. And usually these things get revoked right before the end. Anyway, I've been seeing many different articles about why Ripple is going to be doing astronomically well. Just going to quickly say, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, because, well, what if a settlement happens tomorrow? You know, what if the Ripple lawsuit is over tomorrow? What if XRP starts soaring? What if another crypto starts soaring? I'll be here. I'll be making a video. I'll be streaming. And you can always decide to skip, the little notification, but make sure you've got that notification bell turned on. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so when I said Ripple just now, I do not mean XRP. I mean Ripple as a company. Many people have been writing articles that they're very excited about that asset. But on the sidelines, I'm more bullish on XRP. However, Ripple makes waves. $3 trillion asset bank hails XRP as the ultimate game changer for future distributed ledger technology. Whenever I see articles like this, I always wonder if they're real or if there's something that they're missing or if it's old news. So I always take it with a grain of salt, and I personally think so should you, because very often people like to recycle these types of announcements and finds. And right here again, it says, or Samburo says, it's from 2019. It said HSBC, the largest Europe-based bank by total assets, mentions the XRP ledger for cross-border payments. The financial institution alone handles nearly $250 billion a year in foreign exchange. It also referred to DOT as game changer. And the thing is, we already know that Ripple, through XRP, but even on their own, is game-changing stuff. The only question is, when can they let it rip? I've told you guys before, they are heavily manipulating this because you've got to set up the rails first before you start acting bullish. If this doesn't make sense to you, understand that almost any single person or institution out there stays hesitant, reluctant, or negative until they have some sort of incentive to do the opposite. And very often, it's not only on a philanthropical basis, they want some sort of monetary incentive. So right now, what I believe is happening is they're building these rails, they're building out the possibilities to make money with this new technology before explaining to the world how bullish they are. But a lot of these reports, which are not their public statements, but reports, do showcase more of the truth that, again, is not being showcased too much in their actual speech. Again, please also understand that right now, it's not retail that is fully the problem, even though that might be a little bit of the problem over in China and the Asian regions. In the US, it's the institutional grade that's having a lot of troubles because of this regulatory uncertainty. And I don't care what you say, but I personally believe that the moment that Ripple wins this, which I personally think is inevitable, but hey, it's still a percentage thing, that it's going to rip because right now these institutions can buy Bitcoin. But if a massive bank buys Bitcoin, that sounds a little bit sketchy, sounds a little bit strange. Well, y'all know what Ripple, and I'm taking that lightly here because, well, it's not only Ripple, but Ripple for a very big part has built for XRP. It's a lot more easy, I personally think, to convince your shareholders to be involved with Ripple / the XRP ledger than with Bitcoin. Because if you look at the purposes of what the XRP ledger was built for and how XRP, or utilizing XRP, can help your business out, save a lot of money, for example, it's a better value proposition than let's just buy Bitcoin for the sake of hedging or just for the sake of buying it or whatever. And for that reason, right now in the US, you've only got Bitcoin being fine. Ethereum, Algorand, all these other cryptos are still in a little bit of a trouble situation. The moment that this Ripple lawsuit is over and XRP becomes the only properly regulated crypto out there, where do you think institutions are going to go? They have two options. Either not adapt with the times, which again, they're already preparing for in the background, or to go with XRP. Again, these are just my thoughts, but let me know down below if you disagree or agree with that. In the XRP community right now, one thing that's also quite important is these new propositions. I'm going to be honest with you, every single proposition always is rather important, but if you care about XRP, XP Ledger, there's an important debate about the XLS38D cross-chain bridge amendment you want to understand. Why? Centralization and its legal implications. A simple summary of the discussion. The whole idea here is that if this change were to be implemented, which for a lot of projects is good as it allows for more interoperability and for a lot of players to enter your space, there are going to be quite a lot of downsides. And right now the question is, do the upsides weigh off against the downsides? And right now, one of the things he's explaining is the multi-signer list has some important implications. It requires off-chain coordination and has the effect of centralizing authority of the bridge in this off-chain agreement, at least to some extent. Which again has to do with the fact that if you want a cross-chain bridge, you need witnesses to make sure things are valid and good. These are called witness servers, which are third-party servers that verify a chain is actually properly locking up a specific asset to then be represented on another. Again, if you don't understand the concept of bridging, it's basically, let's say we have 1,000 XRP on the XRP ledger. We also now want 1,000 XRP on Ethereum. Well, on Ethereum, no XRP really exists, but on Ethereum, we could create an XRP token or a wrapped version of XRP. Now, again, XRP only exists on the XRP ledger, but what we could do is grab this XRP on the XRP ledger, send it to a specific address that is now stuck there. Let's just say 1,000 XRP is now stuck in a specific spot. Who decides that? Well, again, that's decided upon by all these witnesses. What happens on Ethereum? Now, we grab 1,000 of this XRP token that was created that basically represents a line with the 1,000 XRP that we locked up somewhere for real on the XRP ledger. So again, right now, this 1,000 Ethereum XRP that exists on Ethereum is not real, but it's kind of like how a stable coin represents an actual dollar. Potentially, it could be redeemed for an actual dollar, but obviously, it's not an actual dollar. And this idea already exists. There are a lot of external bridges already because it's not that difficult of a concept. They just get hacked quite often, which is not that good. But right now, this proposal is for internal bridges. So he's explaining that this centralization of these witnesses and the specific list might actually lead to some sort of regulatory headaches because apparently a central entity is responsible for choosing the bridge. So would different jurisdictions require a license to use the protocol? Bridges are already a gray area as of this point. But apparently the key issue with this proposal is that it makes the bridge a native part of the XP ledger. External bridges already exist, and the risk they pose is not assumed by the XRP ledger. The XLS changes that, this specific one. So what is gained by making the bridge native? Is it worth the risks? Further, another person raises a very interesting concern about the meta. What becomes of a trustless bridge asset with no counterparty XRP in the system? What unintended effects emerge? There are other concerns as well. Bridges are a common attack point, like we talked about, network load, etc. None of these are necessarily insurmountable, and the question is, hey, if the benefit outweighs the cost. It's funny, I didn't read these last tweets yet, so it's kind of funny that we're thinking on the same level. Again, what would the benefit be? Vroth says, I think the benefit comes from people spinning up sidechains based on the XP ledger that can then interact natively using XRP on the XRP ledger, CBDC, banks, for instance, and they could control their own networks but interface natively. So this would expand the XRP ledger to have more interoperability, is the way I would call it, but on another side, make it more centralized and open for more regulatory troubles. And the question then is, do we want that? And again, I know a lot of you guys don't really concern yourself with issues like this, but I personally, as a pretty big XRP holder, I must say, always like to follow up on these things, always like to keep my eyes open. And so I also like to share them with you guys so you're always kept up to date. So make sure you press that like button, why not? All right, I'm going to go quickly, but I have some other cool pieces of news that I want to quickly share. Germany's Deutsche Telekom, which is huge, is set to become a Polygon validator. That's just massive news. They're one of Europe's largest telecommunication companies, I think actually one of the largest in the world. They provide consulting and software development services, and so them joining the Polygon bandwagon is just a huge news for crypto as a whole. Then I saw an interesting piece that I didn't fully understand actually. BRICS embraces crypto frontier. Bitcoin integration steals the spotlight at upcoming summit, paving the way for a digital future. Just letting you guys know I'm putting this website on trial because, well, embrace the crypto frontier. but then mentions Bitcoin 0 times afterwards. It's like, what? All they're saying is that more countries are trying to join the BRICS nation, I guess, which is still an interesting point on its own, but not to the similar extent. Again, like we said before, 1 billion XRP got unlocked today. Pretty huge, but on another end, not that much of a deal because it happens every single month. And I still think about it in a funny manner of, would the SEC have not tried to stop that either, for Ripple to get more money or Ripple to sell XRP if they were so certain? This is something that I keep shouting out. BlackRock CEO issues a dire warning over the debt ceiling drama. I keep telling you, these guys are all playing one big game because usually all these decisions, all this drama gets revoked at the end. Gemini apparently is entering the UAE, citing high crypto enthusiasm in the country. Again, this is the country where I live, so I am always happy to see that. And then another bullish announcement was that XDC apparently soared 25% as the community celebrates the 4th anniversary, and here's what's in store. XDC Network looks to build further enterprise engagement as it celebrates the 4th anniversary, so a lot of good things are coming up for XDC. Today, XRP is not doing too amazing, down 1% or so. While indeed XDC is the best performer, but only up roughly 6%. Perhaps it was up more yesterday. Let's quickly check that out. Yeah, it was up a lot more yesterday, but I missed out on it, as right now we're down already about 5 cents. Oh, I can see XDC secures Japanese foothold through SBI partnership. Yeah, XDC is doing pretty damn good. So they're following the same path as Ripple, I guess, working with SBI. SBI over in Japan, they don't joke around, huh? These guys are fully onto crypto. Huge, huge, huge. But yeah, again, always bullish on XDC as well. You guys probably know that, right? A lot of the coins that I hold and I will hold for a long time, I talk about daily on this channel. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. That's about it. See you guys later in another one.